Can you tell how much your past experiences have influenced your present? All our memories, especially those referring to painful emotions from the past, can create barriers that prevent us from fully living in the present. Most of the worries consuming our minds are in fact constructions of scenarios that will never materialize. Many traumas are part of our subconscious, and we are not even aware of them. However, often it is these traumas that dictate our actions and our relationships. It's a curious and sometimes disturbing phenomenon, how these memories, which we would prefer to keep buried, continue to exert such a significant power over our lives. They are like ghosts from the past that, although they cannot be seen or touched, are undeniably real in their influence. The concept of the pain body, created by Eckhart Tolle, is a metaphor to describe how the pains and traumas we accumulate throughout life intertwine energetically with our being, deeply influencing our emotional and physical state. Instead of being a distant entity, it is a part of us that, without proper attention and awareness, can continue to harm us. This power that the past holds over the present can be immense, but it is not immutable. The key to unlocking these invisible chains lies in the recognition and acceptance of our pain. This process requires courage, as facing the shadows of the past can be frightening. However, it is only through this conscious confrontation that we can begin to dissolve the ties that bind us to these painful memories. By bringing these experiences into the light of consciousness, we begin to see ourselves not as victims of our past, but as survivors and, ultimately, as masters of our own lives. The power to change the frequency of your life is in your hands. You can rewrite your soundtrack with songs of hope, strength, and renewal. This change will not only be internal, you will begin to notice how the world around you starts to change. How many times have you felt sad, alone, or wronged throughout your existence? Have you truly looked at your pains, or did you just try to move on, ignoring how much they would influence you in the future? Each trauma faced and each pain embraced teach us valuable lessons about resilience, compassion, and the impermanence of human experiences. We learn that, although we cannot control what happens to us, we have a choice in how we respond to these experiences. We can allow them to define and limit us, or we can use them as tools for growth and transformation. This is the true power of healing, the ability to transform pain into wisdom, suffering into strength, and the past into a foundation for a more conscious and fulfilling future. In addition to consciously looking at our pains and embracing our traumas, we must learn to nourish the right feelings. Imagine for a moment that within us dwells a subtle entity, almost like an invisible creature, that feeds exclusively on unhappiness and negative emotions. This being, which Tolle calls the pain body, is not a figure from science fiction, but a powerful metaphor to describe how our past and present emotional pains intertwine, forming a vicious cycle of suffering. This pain body has a peculiar characteristic. It feeds on itself. Like an emotional parasite, it thrives on every negative thought, every harbored resentment, every unreleased grievance. The more we feed it with our unhappiness, the more it grows and strengthens, becoming an increasingly dominant presence in our inner life. The cycle is insidious. Once this pain body is fed, it begins to influence our perceptions, our thoughts, and ultimately, our actions. Like a distorted lens, it makes us see the world through a filter of negativity, attracting even more situations and feelings that reinforce its existence. It's as if we're tuned into a radio frequency that only plays songs of despair and sadness, and no matter how hard we try to change the station, the dial seems stuck. It may seem problematic, but the awareness of this body's existence is what can free us. We are the ones who control the frequency of our own radio. There is an invisible button within our reach, capable of tuning in to the feelings and energies we desire. We can and must connect with thoughts, emotions, and actions that feed not the pain body, but our deepest essence, that part of us that yearns for peace, joy, and love. This requires a practice of mindfulness and self-observation, a skill that we can develop with time and patience. When we face our pains with compassion and understanding, we begin to diminish the power they have over us, gradually weakening them. It is crucial to surround ourselves with content and experiences that nourish our souls and uplift us, whether through inspiring books, videos like this one, physical exercise, meditation, moments of genuine connection with others, or immersion in nature. All these things serve as powerful antidotes against the frequency of the pain body. It is not by chance that many meditative techniques emphasize the power of being here and now. The now is the only moment we truly possess, and it is where life happens. Living in the now is liberating. It is embracing each moment as it presents itself, without the shadows of the past or worries about the future. Often, we spend our days lost in thoughts about what was or what will be, neglecting the wonders and challenges that lie before us here and now. When we pay mindful attention to the present moment, we begin to notice the small joys and little miracles that used to escape us. The sunlight filtered through the leaves of a tree, the smile of a loved one, the sensation of a gentle breeze on our skin. All these experiences may seem insignificant, but they make up the essence of life. Pause and think for a moment. How many extraordinary things are part of your now? Your health, your job, your home, the people you love, the simple fact of being alive and aware. Having gratitude for what we are today is essential to building a better future. Feelings of pain, anger, and frustration act as powerful barriers that hinder us from achieving our goals. By cultivating a sense of appreciation for what we have and who we are right now, we transform our perspective on life. Every breath, every smile, every encounter becomes a reason to be grateful. Allow yourself to live, love, and laugh without reservation, here and now. Because in the end, that's all we truly have. The now is the most valuable gift we possess, and recognizing it as such is the first step toward a truly fulfilling and meaningful life. The practice of living in the now does not mean resignation, but rather a deep understanding that the present moment is all we have, and that is the only path to peace. By acknowledging that our thoughts and emotions are fleeting and that we are the consciousness behind them, we begin to unravel the ties that bind us to suffering. The pain that once seemed to define our existence begins to lose its power over us, allowing true peace and joy in living to emerge from within. The path to the now is simple, yet profound. It starts with the decision to bring our attention to the present moment whenever we remember. With practice and dedication, this attention becomes more natural and constant, transforming our experience of life in ways we can barely imagine. Being in the now is also an act of courage. It requires us to face reality as it is, with all its imperfections, challenges, and beauty. It means accepting ourselves and the world around us without judgment, opening our hearts to the direct experience of life without the filter of our personal stories. The essence of life, its true charm and mystery, lies not in the promises of tomorrow, but in the fullness of the now. If the now holds so much depth, beauty, and potential, what are we missing by letting our minds wander too far from the only place where life truly happens? What would happen if, for a moment, we stopped relentlessly seeking for more and simply allowed ourselves to be, absorbing every nuance and detail of the now? If this video made sense to you, write in the comments, "It makes sense to me." Remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to receive all the latest teachings.